So the problem is out here. Even though this is an anti-freeze valve, I don't really trust it, and I want to make sure that I have a separate shutoff for it with a ball valve. So we have to trace the plumbing back and figure out where it is in the house. So the hose is right around there on the outside, and so we know it's coming from that direction. We can kind of trace that back, and really the only pipe going in that direction is that one right there. And so now we know which pipe to work on. So you have your MAP gas or your propane gas for the heat source. You have your lead-free tinning flux, and you also have your lead-free solder. And then you have a pipe cutter, and then you have your 1/2 inch or whatever size that you need lead-free ball valve. We also need a pipe cleaner. You might also want a fire extinguisher on standby just in case. I also have a 5-gallon bucket here to catch any water that's still in the pipes. You want to make sure that your water main is turned off. Mine's right there. And then go around to various parts of your house and just kind of empty the lines out. So we're going to cut the pipe up here with the pipe cutter. Okay, so now we're going to use a pipe cleaner to clean both sides. Alright, so now we're going to apply some tinning flux. We will apply the flux on both sides of the pipe. We're also going to apply some on the inside of the ball valve on both sides. So now that both ends are cleaned and they both have flux on them, also both sides of the ball valve has flux, I'm just going to dry fit it for now. So we'll push that side on nice, and we'll connect the other side into it. It's important that the valve is in the open position for the soldering. So now we'll use some propane and solder. What we want to do is heat up the copper pipe on the top and bottom until it's hot enough to actually melt the solder when it touches. And it'll just get sucked right into that joint because we put that paste on it. Okay, and so now it's still hot, but we'll let that cool down and it should be functioning. So we can just test it now and we're good to go. So my wife's about to turn the water valve back on. You can hear it pressurized. I actually started with this ball valve in the off position. Just in case that there was a leak on the bottom or something like that. It'll be a little bit easier not to let all of this pressurize with water as well. So now we'll open this valve and we'll see how we did with the top. Okay, the top part is pressurized as well. Looks like we did a pretty good job and there are no leaks. Okay, so I'll turn it back off and I will check outside. Okay, so we're going to open this valve all the way. And now we're going to spray. And you can see even though the valve is open, we're pretty much good here because we have it turned off downstairs. So now we'll close this back up and there's no longer full water pressure sitting in there, possibly freezing. So this is what a freezeless faucet looks like. How it works is that you close the valve and it actually shuts the water off down here. So that way it keeps the water away from the outside. But in the winter time, if it's really cold and you don't have a ton of insulation, it could still freeze and split. And so just as an extra precaution in the winter time, I would really like to be able to close it off completely. And so that's what we did today.